Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making strawberry crunch ice cream macarons. These are bursting with strawberry flavor and they're so delicious, perfect for the summertime. These are kicking off my series on ice cream macarons, so if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for the upcoming recipes. Let's start by making our strawberry puree. We're going to place our strawberries, sugar, and lime juice on a saucepan on medium-high heat. We're going to combine that all together and reduce it until all of that liquid has evaporated. Keep mixing this throughout this process so that it doesn't stick to the pan and burn. And as you mix it, you'll notice that the strawberries soften up so you can easily crush them with your spatula. And you'll notice that the mixture starts thickening up like this. Once it's thickened, you can pour it into a bowl, set aside to cool down so that we can add it to the ice cream base. This is going to add so much strawberry flavor to our ice cream, it's insane. Next, put some golden Oreos and freeze-dried strawberries into a bag and crush them with your rolling pin. You can use your food processor, but I think this is way easier and also you're able to relieve some anger and stress. Moving on to the ice cream. So this base is what we're going to use throughout our ice cream macaron series. Heavy cream and sweetened condensed milk, except for the coconut ones. That one is going to be a little bit different, so stay tuned for that one. But basically, all we're going to do is whip our heavy whipping cream to stiff peaks. Then we add the sweetened condensed milk, combine that until fully incorporated, and then we're going to add our homemade puree. Make sure that it's completely cooled down at this point. Also, make sure to reserve some of that strawberry puree so that we can add it as a swirl on the ice cream. Add some pink gel food color to the ice cream mixture if you'd like. Combine that all together and scrape down the sides of the bowl with your spatula just to make sure that everything gets incorporated, and then pour that mixture into your quarter sheet pan. Shake the pan a little bit and tap it against the tabletop to get an even layer of ice cream. Add the reserved strawberry puree to the mixture and swirl it with the spoon. Then cover it very well with saran wrap. Put it in the freezer to chill for 4 to 6 hours or overnight. While the ice cream is in the freezer or the following day, prepare the macarons. Weigh out the powdered sugar and sift into a bowl. Do the same thing with the almond flour and then just combine that all together with your spatula. My biggest tip for macaron success is for you to get a food scale. You'll always stay consistent with your ingredients and it's highly likely that you'll be successful in macaron making if you use a scale. So please get a scale if you don't have one. And here's the sugar that we'll be using for our meringue. These egg whites were weighed out the night before and brought to room temperature 30 minutes before I started with the meringue. Start by whipping the egg whites and the food coloring, also a pinch of salt, until they get frothy and the color has incorporated into the egg whites. Then we start adding the sugar a little bit at a time and whipping for 15 to 30 seconds in between additions of the sugar. You have to be patient, okay? It's going to feel like you're whipping forever and the egg whites never reach stiff peaks, but you just have to keep at it. And this is why I like adding the food coloring at the very beginning, because as I whip the meringue, it starts changing color, it gets lighter. Once it gets lighter, I start checking the meringue. Here you can see that it's falling into itself, it's not holding a peak, so it's not ready yet. So I keep whipping until the meringue stands up like this. It has little peaks, and it's okay if it has a curve at the top, but it just can't fall into itself. If it falls into itself, it's not ready. Once the meringue has reached stiff peaks, we start the macaronage, which is combining the almond flour and powdered sugar into the meringue. This is another step where you need to be patient because again, it's going to feel like the dry ingredients in the meringue are not coming together. You have to keep folding and eventually they will. Every time that I'm going through the macaronage process, I think about that episode in SpongeBob where he's teaching you how to make bubbles.
Now it's time to bring it around town. Bring it around town. Then you do this, then this, and this, then that, this and that, this and that, and then.
Okay, I know we're not making bubbles, we're making macarons, but I think the same steps apply here because you're literally taking the spatula around town, you're taking it around the bowl, you're cutting through the middle, making sure that you're pressing the batter against the sides of the bowl to release extra air. And as you're folding, you're checking the batter to make sure that you're getting to the right consistency and not over folding. Once you get the batter to a shiny and smooth consistency, it's going to fall off the spatula in a ribbon-like form like that. Now that the batter is ready, we can start piping our shells. We're going to pour our batter into a piping bag fitted with a round tip. I like to twist the bottom of the bag with the tip so that the batter doesn't fall out once we pour it into the bag. Since these macarons are bigger than my standard macarons, I make a template with my Cricut with circles 3 inches in size. Now, you don't have to make them 3 inches in size. They can be smaller, maybe 2 inches to 2.5 inches, and that way you can get more macarons in the batch. But I wanted them to be this size, and the cookie cutter that I have is 3 inches. So I went with 3 inches. To pipe the macaron shells, use your dominant hand to squeeze at the top of the bag to release the batter, and use your non-dominant hand as a support only. When you're satisfied with the size, you release the pressure and do a flick motion or C motion with your wrist to stop the batter from coming out of the bag. Use a bench scraper to get all of the batter out of the bag. So with this batch, I had a little bit left over for a smaller macaron that I had as a snack for myself. Remember that you're human and you can't possibly make all of the shells the exact same size, but the template helps to get them around the same size. You do want to aim for at least 10 macaron shells that will pair up to make 5 ice cream macarons. Tap the tray a few times after you've piped out the macaron shells and pop any air bubbles with a toothpick. Let the macarons rest for 15 to 30 minutes, and once you can touch them without any batter getting stuck to your hands, you can bake them in a preheated oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. When they have cooled down completely, you can easily remove them from the parchment paper and pair them together according to size. I did a very bad job at popping the air bubbles, but that's okay. If you look at the bottom right, you'll notice some ice cream missing, and that was me. I had to taste it. You know what I mean. And it was so good. It's packed with strawberry flavor, and the condensed milk makes it so creamy. It's so good, guys. You really have to try it. But you cut out the disc of the ice cream with the cookie cutter, and it's a little bit hard at first because the ice cream is really firm, but then the ice cream starts melting really fast. So once you've cut out the disc, you have to work fast and put it on to the macarons. Put the strawberry crunch that we made earlier into a bowl and roll the macarons in there to cover the ice cream. Make sure that you use a bigger bowl than I did because I was struggling. And use a spoon if you can't get the sides covered in the crumble. The spoon helps with that, but mostly use a bigger bowl. Learn from my mistakes. You cannot tell me that these macarons no se te antojan because you would be lying. Look at how beautiful these look. They taste just as amazing. They are packed with strawberry flavor from the puree and the ice cream from the strawberry crunch. You can package them up into cute little bags and gift them to your family and friends, or you can store them in an airtight container for you to enjoy for the following week or throughout the summer. They are extremely delicious, and I really hope that you try out the recipe. If you found this video helpful in any way, please make sure you subscribe, comment, like, share. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.